Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, hello, my name is Gabby and welcome. So today I'm going to be doing a Q&A. I asked people on my community section on YouTube and also on my Instagram. If you don't follow my Instagram, it's right there. You should follow my Instagram. Anyway, so I asked people to send me questions. Some questions are kind of normal questions. Some of them are questions that I've dodged for a while. So I always told you guys I'm honest. Even though there's questions that I've dodged, I've always been honest with you guys, but today I'm going to be super honest. So with all that being said, let's get into the Q&A. So the first question is from YouTube and it says, if you could find out the truth and solve any crime that is unsolved, what crime would it be? I would have to say probably the Black Dahlia, because that's a case I've been interested in so long and I feel like everybody kind of leans towards different theories and has their own opinions on it, but everybody who researches into that case just wants to know who was responsible. So I would definitely say the Black Dahlia case. The next question is from YouTube and they ask, which case really affected you mentally where you had to step back because you couldn't believe everything involved in the case? Pretty much every case that I cover, I always step back from and I'm like, wow, because every case is so different and there's so many different factors that go into every case. But one that really affected me in a weird way was the case of Frida Burnell and Florence Little, because the person that was responsible, Harry Jones, if everybody in the area just dropped their ego and would admit that somebody from their area could be responsible for such a crime, he would have been caught the first time and wouldn't have been able to go through with the second crime. It was just a case that was very frustrating to research into because so many people believed he was innocent, not because there was anything pointing to his innocence, just because they refused to admit that anybody in their area could do such a thing. It was just ridiculous. What Jane Doe or John Doe case affects you the most? This one's easy, and that is Buckskin Doe, because that's a case that I kept up with for so long, and a month before she was identified, I remember just taking time and researching through everything, and I was so obsessed with this case, and I was trying to literally piece together everything on my own, trying to come up with different theories as to what could have happened. And then I kind of sat it to the side because I was going to do a video on it. And then I woke up one day, like a month later, and her identity was discovered. So that's a case that really, really affected me in a weird way, like a Jane or John Doe case, because it's one that I wanted to see who she really was for so long. And then while I'm still alive, I got to, and I hope that they can eventually fully solve that case. What are your long-term goals on YouTube and your career in general? Now on YouTube, I don't really think of my career on YouTube long-term. I kind of just think of different goals. Like my next goal is obviously I want to hit 100K, and I'm going to genuinely cry when I hit 100K. You guys have no idea. And long-term career in general, I want to save up enough money to go to college for criminal justice. That's something that I definitely want to do in my lifetime. It may not be very soon, but eventually. Another thing that I really want to do is find a case that has not really been covered a lot, that there's no documentaries about it, there's no books about it, and I really want to work with the family and write a book about the case. That's a goal that I definitely have within the next maybe 5 years. For entertainment or research purposes, do you prefer books or documentaries? Because I'm a very visual person, I definitely more gravitate towards documentaries. I like seeing what the people looked like. I like seeing where it happened. I just like seeing home videos and different accounts firsthand that people have with the incident and with the crime, and I like seeing interviews with police officers and family members, and yeah, I'm definitely more of a documentary person. What is one of your YouTube pet peeves? Now, this is not throwing shade at any specific person. There's no one person that comes to mind when I think of this, but when I first started doing creepy videos, paranormal videos, true crime videos at the very beginning, I would always act kind of surprised in my thumbnails. I'd be like, and over time I realized that that's kind of inappropriate to do because it's such a serious topic. And I don't think I ever acted too surprised in my thumbnails, but it was always just a little bit dramatic. But there's some people out there who just go overboard with the thumbnails. Every thumbnail is like, and I just find it a little disrespectful. If you were a lawyer defending someone you know is guilty, what would you do? I would never be a lawyer in the first place because I have a problem with lying. Like, I cannot lie. I just can't. Like, I am the most guilt-ridden person if I have to lie in a situation. Like, of course I can obviously tell a fib if somebody's birthday is coming up and it's a surprise party and I have to keep it from them, but I can't lie. So I could never be a lawyer in general. Which case that you've covered would you love to see be made into a movie? I thought long and hard about this question, and I would say the case of Pearl Bryan. I did a video on it quite a while ago, quite a few months ago, and it's just a case that I've known about for so long, and it's so eerie and everything about it is so odd and there's so many different theories. I would love to see it be made into a movie. Will you be making any more old Hollywood videos? This is a question that I get on the regular, and I want to, because old Hollywood is kind of what I started out doing on my channel, old Hollywood paranormal stories and old Hollywood cases, but I've honestly just kind of ran out of stories to cover. There's a lot of stories out there, but there's either not a lot of information regarding them or they've been covered a lot. So I'm kind of stuck with that. But if there's any that you do want me to cover, definitely leave those down below in the comments. Do you think that John and Patsy Ramsey are guilty? Okay, so I don't really have a full opinion towards this. I don't have a full opinion when it comes to the John Ramsey case, but I do think that John and Patsy Ramsey knew a lot more than they told the public. What are your thoughts when it comes to the missing Sodder children? So I recently did a podcast about the Sodder children. It's on my Patreon if you guys want to become a patron, because it really helps your girl out, because YouTube is demonetizing everything of mine, and you guys will get my podcast series. So when it comes to the Sodder children, I'm kind of split on it, because half of me kind of believes that they were not in the house when the house caught fire, and half of me believes that they were, and that it was just a messed up investigation. This case happened so long ago, and if you know anything about vintage cases, they were not properly done right the way that most cases are investigated in today's time. And of course, in today's time, there's still a lot of botched investigations, but I think there was just a lot of mess ups in that case, and maybe they did not search the grounds well enough. I'm not sure, but of course they could have possibly been abducted. I don't know. I'm very 50-50 on that case. Do you have a preference between covering solved cases and unsolved cases? This answer is again 50-50, because I like covering solved cases because it gives hope to the unsolved cases that they can eventually be solved, and I like covering unsolved cases so you can spread the word around about them and they can hopefully eventually be solved. So 50-50. What happened to your Halloween vlogs from last year? Sometimes in life you are young and you fall in love with a false persona that somebody presents to you, and eventually end up wasting 2.5 years of your life in a relationship with them. But October of 2018 comes around and you decide that you're going to partake in vlogtober on your YouTube channel, and you include them in your vlogtober videos, and then you end up finding out that they are a lying, cheating, psychotic thief, and then you decide somewhere down the line that you're just going to scrap those videos completely. It happens. Who are some YouTubers that you've been obsessed with lately? Okay, probably the Gem Goddess and Bailey Sarian. I love their content so much. I watch their channel religiously. I watch every single video that they come out with. Love them. Will you be doing more live streams? Okay, so when it comes to my live streams, I did 2 a couple months ago, and there was this whole issue with me basically being stalked and harassed by somebody that was subscribed to me, and it got very severe to the point where they were threatening my life and they would not leave me alone, and I knew that they were watching my live streams and it made me very uncomfortable. So I probably will not be doing live streams again until I know that they are out of the picture. So yeah, something that you wish YouTube would change. Their policies with demonetization. Hands down, YouTube. Please get your shit together. Will you be doing more merch? Yes, I'm actually currently working with an artist friend of mine right now, and I want to come up with something really unique and different that you're not really going to find anywhere else. So that's what I'm currently working on. It should be done, I want to say end of this month, early next month. So keep an eye out for that. What is the meanest YouTube comment you've ever received? When it comes to YouTube hate, it doesn't really affect me. Like if you call me ugly or disgusting or dumb, it doesn't really affect me. Like I know who I am and it just kind of bounces off of me. But the meanest comment that I ever received was probably that the family members of the victims probably hate me. That was really mean, even though I know that it's not true because I've talked to most of the family members of people whose cases that I've covered on my channel, and they all really respect what I do and are happy with the videos that I've come out with. It was still like really mean. Like I don't know what happened to them that day where they wanted to take it out on me, but it's really rude. What is something that really popular YouTubers do that irritates you? Hands down, overcharge for merch. It drives me nuts. When I first uploaded my designs to Teespring, there's a set price for everything. There's a set price for t-shirts and hoodies and stickers and cups and everything on there. And I decreased the price on everything. When these YouTubers with millions and millions and millions of subscribers come out with a t-shirt with one word on it and charge $45, knowing that 90% of their viewers are 12 years old, there's like literally a special place in hell for you. Like that's ridiculous. You know that most of these kids, their parents work minimum wage jobs and probably don't have an extra $100 to throw on 2 t-shirts, a hoodie, and some shipping and handling, but they're going to do it because they love their kids and they want to make them happy for Christmas. Like, it drives me up a wall. Like, you don't already make millions of dollars. Like, can you not just like decrease the price a little bit, or at least make merch that is like more original so it's actually worth the price? Sorry, I really had to rant for like 2 seconds. How is Rocket? So if you don't follow me on Instagram, you definitely don't know this, but my boyfriend recently rescued a little raccoon. And so the raccoon was abandoned by its mommy and these kids were like tormenting it. So he rescued it, and he's cared for raccoons before. He's cared for literally every type of animal ever. So he knows what to do, and he rescued it, and I'm obsessed with this raccoon. Like, he's the most adorable, precious thing in the entire world. Being a raccoon mommy is awesome, and Rocket the Raccoon actually has an Instagram page if you want to follow him. If you were behind bars for a crime that you actually committed, what would it be? This is a very interesting question because I don't see myself going to jail ever because I don't want to commit a crime, but if I was actually going to commit a crime that is illegal, like it's illegal and I'm going to do it, I would probably say like protecting an animal. Like I think I would go ballistic on a person if I saw somebody abusing an animal. So that's what would probably get me in some trouble. What are some of your other hobbies besides researching true crime? I love drawing. That's probably one of my main hobbies, even though I have to get back into that a lot more. I love reading, I love writing, and I love cooking. Cooking is definitely probably one of my favorite things to do. If you come over to my house, I will cook for you a lot. What would you say to somebody who wanted to get out of a toxic relationship but cannot let go of the person? I would say ask yourself if this person is good for your mental health. Do not rely on feelings. Do not think, oh, I love them, or I feel this way towards them, or whatever. Live beyond your feelings. Think with your head, not with your heart. And if you think with your head and not with your heart, it's going to lead you to a better life where you are able to be happier. As humans, we rely on our heart too much, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing in every situation, but when you know somebody is toxic, you're already one step ahead, because there are women and men out there who will not admit that the person that they're with is toxic. So if you know that they are, you're already one step ahead. Sit down with a piece of paper, write out the pros and cons, and if the cons highly outweigh the pros, you're gonna have to step away from that situation. Because overall, life is too short to stay with somebody who is just completely draining you of all the good qualities and all the potential that you have. What is your favorite crystal that you own? This bad boy right here that is like 15, possibly 20 pounds of rose quartz. Yeah. So those are all the questions that I am answering for you guys today. If you want me to do another Q&A sometime in the future, leave those questions down below. I love you guys so insanely much, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.